Live from the Tiger Studios in Easley, South Carolina, it's the JoJo Cool Football Pick Show, Week 20, the National Championship Edition, with your star and host of your show, JoJo Cool, and your co-host, Outlaw Jimmy James, with special guests Chuck Kirkendall and Super Dave David Garrett. Here's JoJo.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Hope you have a happy new year and a Merry Christmas.
Awesome. JoJo, it was a great week of football. A lot of upsets, a lot of games I didn't figure would happen from where they happened. I did not think, I want to go ahead and apologize to Michigan Nation. Did not think they had a good schedule, a weak schedule. I thought they were weak. I thought Alabama would beat them, but Michigan proved me wrong. They dominated defensively. They dominated on both sides of the line. And congratulations to Michigan. But I'm pulling for Washington. All right, JoJo. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Welcome Super Dave and Chuck Kirkendall.
Good to be here.
Been a while. We had three other guys slated to come in. Zach Howard, he was called back into work. J.C. Gray, Jonas Gray. Well, he's a Bulldog fan, so I think he's kind of intimidated by all those Tigers. But no, he had something come up too, and so did Mike Constance. So maybe we'll get them on our next show when next season's coming up. Guys, what you been up to since we saw you last?
Just working.
Working.
I know it feels like the football season just went by in a flash. I think I was here week 2, and here we are, week 20, so that was 18 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It did fly by. What's your guys' thoughts on these past week's games?
As far as the national championship game, I thought Alabama and Michigan would have been a close game. Just how physical Michigan was, it just really surprised me.
They were.
You don't see a Saban team get bullied like that. Now they did make adjustments, and Michigan let them hang around.
Yeah.
So it still ended up being a tight game.
Yeah.
But tell you what, I always thought Michael Penix should have won the Heisman, and he showed it again last night. That boy was just showing out.
But you know, when he was with Indiana, he stayed injured all the time.
Yeah.
The difference is offensive line blocking for him.
Yeah.
Had a much better line, and he's staying healthier. But yeah, you're right. You know, one thing about the Big Ten, they've got some linemen. They got some good linemen.
Yeah.
Except for Iowa, they got demolished by Tennessee. You know. Chuck, what do you think about it?
I agree. I think Michigan, they started out strong after that first little flood letting Alabama score, and then I thought that would be the game. I honestly thought that Michigan, if they would play what I thought they'd play, that they would have stopped Alabama by 2 or 3 scores.
If it had been a clean game, the turnovers and the muff punt, all that stuff.
Right, it was just an odd game. I was glad. It's hard for me to say I'm glad Michigan win because I never pull for Michigan. But I can't pull for Alabama either. So I just want somebody different. So I had to go with Michigan in this one. Looking forward to seeing Washington play.
Yeah.
The stats are just, I really was looking at the stats earlier today about Washington and Michigan. Their yearly stats, if you look, they're almost identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go different ways. But
Yeah, it's the only thing that's really standout difference is I think Washington's number 10 overall offense, but Michigan's number 1 defense.
Yeah.
But now the flip side, they're like 90th and 70th. It's way off. So that balance, I don't know how that's going to play because points per game are within a point of each other.
Yeah,
Yards per play, everything is
wild.
almost identical. Turnovers, everything. Time of possession. This will surprise me. The time of possession is I thought Washington with that throwing attack would be a lot less.
Yeah.
But there's only like 30. It's 30 minutes still. So they're half of the game, which
Yeah.
the Michigan's only 32 minutes.
So they take a lot of time off the clock,
Yeah.
even though they complete a lot of passes. They wait.
They work the clock.
10 or 9 seconds before they snap the ball.
Right. So I'm looking for. I was worried that Michigan was going to probably stomp them, but really looking at the stuff, but I'm leaning towards Washington. I still haven't really decided yet as to who I'm definitely going to 100% back yet.
This was the
We're
first
back in
year.
Washington.
My heart would definitely be with Washington for sure.
I thought this was the first year you got 2 good games. Usually there's a blowout, or a
Right.
close game,
Yeah.
or 2 blowouts, but
Absolutely.
2 good games.
That game last night was good. Yeah, it was good and close. Yeah. Here's another stat you guys may not know. This is the first year in how many years?
2018.
2018 that we haven't had a team from the South.
No, SEC.
Yeah, I'm talking about a team from the South.
South at all, right?
All playing for the championship.
It's 2018 with the SEC.
Yeah, 2018 with the SEC, but what 18 years, maybe 16 years since a team from the South was not in the championship. That shows you the domination of Southern football, ACC and SEC.
I thought Texas would put in a better game than they did. I always thought they was going to beat Washington.
Well, they're still getting used to Sarkeesian too. Really. I mean,
They
it hasn't
did
been
at the
long.
end.
Yeah.
They almost did at the end.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, my great nephew was there at the game, and I was actually kind of hoping they would win, but I was pulling for Washington too. So he's depressed about that. He's a big Longhorn fan living in Georgia. I tell you what do you guys think about the chances for the Tigers coming up? I think they got a pretty good chance with these two new coaches. I think they're going to make the linemen on both sides tougher.
They better have a better offensive line. Like I said, I think Clemson could very easily been undefeated this year.
They could have, yeah.
They should have, stat-wise, they should have been.
I don't think they could have made it to the championship game. They were not good enough yet. But like you said, undefeated, yeah.
Right, I think they could be undefeated. I think you're right. You can't have your quarterback getting beat up so much and running for his life. You can't do that.
No.
I thought these younger guys, they started playing good at the end of the year. Those younger ones they brought in. But the last game, I'm surprised they won actually, because he was scrambling. It was tough getting the ball off.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of frustrated at the start of the Kentucky game. It looked just like the South Carolina game to start the game, and I'm like, our offense is so inept right now.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have the confidence for Cade that last drive that he went down and they won the game.
That was amazing.
Moffa showed out though.
Yeah, he grew up a lot, and I was screaming the whole time, "Give it to Moffa, give it to Moffa," and I just feel like sometimes they don't use Moffa in the right situations.
Yeah.
They need to know when to use him.
I believe they're going to start using him better, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, they were saying that was the most entertaining bowl game of the season
It was
so far.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It would have been. It wouldn't have been fun if we would have lost it, but it was fun to watch.
It was. I enjoyed. I was real worried handing that ball off at 17 seconds or whatever it was. Just worried with what they've been playing.
JoJo, you're sitting here quiet. What do you think? You taking it all in? I know that brain is working. I can tell.
I am. I'm waiting until we get into each game and then dissect everything.
Let's do it. Let's jump right into it.
First, we're gonna need to talk about DJ committing to FSU.
Yeah.
What y'all think?
Why would they want him? That's what I was thinking. Why would they want him?
Big mistake. He should have stayed at Oregon State where he had it made.
He did have it made. I think he was at a team that the team was worth the top 25 maybe, but
And he
that's
rallied
what
around
made
him,
him look that good. I mean, I know I had arguments with my nephew earlier in the year. He's like, DJ's killing. I'm like, look at the stats.
Yeah.
In 2 games, he didn't pass but like 30 times attempts. So it wasn't anything about him at all, in my opinion.
If you watched the big games when they played the big games, Oregon and Washington, he didn't look good. He looked just like he looked last year.
Yeah.
And I know his coach left. Now Florida State seems like they're really happy to get him, and I'm like, well, maybe he'll be able to maybe complete some
We don't
passes
have
to the Clemson players.
Yeah. So they really reduced their threat level of taking him on. I thought they were growing, but to me, that's not a growth. Somebody's been left 2 teams.
That don't scare me. I mean, he may turn around and just be outstanding next year, but that don't scare me.
But see, that's what irritates me, what you just said. Second team, this transfer portal is getting out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a commitment to your school, sign that contract, stay. All right, so don't go rant, but I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I was talking to a guy and I had to shut him down real quick. He said, "I don't blame him. If you had a job and you got offered another job for more pay, you'd go." I said, "Yeah, but that's not a job. He's a student first, football player second. All right. He gets paid enough. He gets free tuition. He gets free room and board. He gets a free education, and he also gets stipends. They get money. All right. So when you make that commitment, you're getting money. Those kids get money. What about the academic students? They get nothing. They have to work their butts off in the class. They have to go get a job somewhere on campus or off campus to help offset things. These athletes have it made, every one of them. So I don't want to hear people say, "Well, it's a higher paying job." No, it's not a job. They're students. They're student athletes. They're not professionals yet. The NIL, I could live with that a little bit if they can, kind of control it. Not let these schools try to talk them into leaving. But they need to stop this transfer portal. Wait till after the 3rd year, and if they do transfer, they have to sit out a year like they did before.
Well, and I'm okay with NIL if there's rules. I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine? Let's say just Tom Brady when he played for the Patriots at the end of the year. He's like, I don't want to play for the Patriots anymore. I'm gonna go to a new team with no repercussions, no nothing. that's kind of where we're at, where free agency with no rules at
Yeah,
all.
it's bad.
Right.
It's
So-
bad.
Somebody's gotta fix
You
it.
know, I understand when the lawsuit started back, I think it was 2009. It was just different. It was for opportunities for things for them to get paid some.
It was never
Different.
supposed to be what it is.
Right, it's not what it's supposed to. It was for video game. I mean, really, that's what it started from, the video game.
Yeah.
Likenesses in a video game.
Yeah.
Well, not to get political, but this is going to be just like politics, is where you get a law passed or one little thing passed. That's not the end game.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone to other things.
Yeah.
What's going to me, like you said, you lose loyalty. Rivalry games are going to be nothing anymore. I
You
mean,
can't
college
trust
is
their
really
word
going to be
anymore.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
I know there's arguments both ways of what y'all think. They say, "Oh, make a minor league out of it." Well, minor leagues don't ever do well. I think it would be different with this. Yeah, I think college football athletes, as opposed to baseball minor leagues or football other leagues, I think that's what they're going for. They're pushing it because in Congress, well, in the court system right now, there's already laws being worked on or cases being pushed to consider being employees, athletes employees.
That's
And
ridiculous.
there's some of the labor people and even the government label, some are, it's kind of 50-50 right now. So if they make them employees, to me, that's just going to be a mess.
All right, if they make them employees, they need to make them sign a 5-year contract. They can't get out of it.
Right?
If they try to get out of it, then they're going to have to get that money back.
And that might be what it takes,
Yeah.
but it's like, when you think about it, you know, maybe the incentives need to be there, like, you know, like you get a bowl incentive,
Yeah.
you know, you get NIL, but, you know, you got to finish the season.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you leave early, you got to give some money back.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's- somehow it has to be tied, there has to be some rules, it just can't be every man for
All
himself.
these guys laying out the bowl games, it's
I
terrible.
mean, Florida State, you feel bad for them, but when you build a team on 13 or 14 transfers,
Yeah.
when they're not loyal to you, you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you just can't trust the word anymore.
Well, if you think about taking to me, that also is going to just wipe out the bowl system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they're not going to play, like look, poor Florida State. I feel bad. I mean, it looks bad because they lost their quarterback, they got kicked out of the playoff situation, and what, a dozen players
Yeah.
left them. So
24.
24? Oh, 24. I thought I heard it was a dozen, but 24 players left, and then say, oh, see, they shouldn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Well, I guess not. If 24 people leave the team,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You're going to make the bowl games basically a glorified high school combine, really, just to show people that, oh, I'll stay here and play to show what I got. That's about all you're going to get out of the bowl game.
Yeah.
But did they shouldn't be able to go into the playoff because they lost 24, but if they got into the playoff, they still would have kept those 24.
Right, exactly.
They still would have stayed, they
That
still
would
would
have
have
been-
played.
Right, that's why I think they should have been in there, in my opinion.
Hopefully the 12-team playoff will fix some of that, because you figure more teams, the players will stay, and they won't opt out.
And I'm hating all these super conferences developing. I love the old Southwest. I like the old Pac-10, Pac-12. It's just getting crazy.
It's
You know,
going to be, I don't know where it's going to end. It's going to be a mess.
ACC made
Nah.
die because Florida State wants to bring Clemson with them. Clemson goes, and North Carolina wants to go with them, and so does NC State.
Well, they said North Carolina's the gold mine.
Yeah.
As far as wanting teams just because of that area
Yeah,
that they're in,
Yeah.
the market area that takes the NIL up in value,
Basketball.
even basketball. It's a lot.
You know, I'd like to see. I would love to see Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, NC State, Oregon State, Washington State, and maybe a couple other schools form their own conference and get away from the ACC and have a power conference.
It's going to be cross continental.
They go now with
ACC 2.0.
American Athletic Conference, Sun Belt. They cross like that, but you know they could have a really super good conference like that.
Well, there is a rumor out there, and I don't know how true it is or anything, but I read an article, the fight groups that own the WWE and own UFC, Dana White and all these guys, they're interested in maybe they would want to put the Big 12, the ACC, and the rest of the Pac-10 together and make a super conference, and they're willing to back it with money.
Wow.
Wow. Well, if they got the money, then people will be listening. I promise you that.
But you know, the way the ACC is doing some schools, I wouldn't mind seeing Clemson and Florida State go to Big 10 or the Big 12. I don't think SEC is going to take them because of, South Carolina and Florida. But
you know, Texas
That's just
A&M couldn't keep Texas out either, so.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just 2 votes.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting next couple of years anyway.
I got a feeling we'll know by this time next year where the conferences stand.
Yep. All right, JoJo, what's up next?
We can talk about Clemson, Kentucky. We already kind of got into it, but here's some stats for you that I've
Alright.
got, and then y'all can go wherever y'all want. So this is the 12th consecutive season with at least one post-bowl game, postseason win. This is the longest in FBS.
For Clemson?
Yep.
Awesome.
Dabo has 12 bowl wins. That's the most in the ACC. Like y'all said, Maffa showed out. He had 4 touchdowns that tied the Gator Bowl record and the school record
Wow.
in one single game. He had 1 rush for 74 yards and 4 touchdowns. No, 11 rushes for 74 yards and 4 touchdowns. Kentucky's Brown had 3 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown and the longest kickoff return in Gator Bowl history at like 100 something yards.
Kentucky?
Yep, Kentucky.
Yeah, if they hadn't got that, then wouldn't have been as close as it was. Yeah.
And then Clemson had the longest field goal in like 50 something yards.
52 yards. That was
52
wild, yeah.
Yeah, that one just got 3, man. It's just
Pinked off the
Yep.
bottom
All
part.
right.
I know with all the trouble they had this year.
And then this is 9. They had 9 wins. That's the fewest.
Yep.
Since 2000.
But you know what? I've been saying all year, Dabo will have it turned around the next couple of years. If these players won't keep transferring, he'll have another good team, 24, 25, and 26. How many touchdowns did you say Maffa had?
4.
Auld Bundy had 4 for Polk High School. He sure is. So he's in good company. All right, JoJo, what else we got?
You know, Dabo has more bowl wins than South Carolina does in their entire history.
Yeah, exactly.
Jab a little bit there.
And their only championship game was when they were in the ACC.
And that's it. Yeah, and that's when the ACC was really weak. Yeah. Wasabi.
Spicy.
All right, JoJo, what else we got?
Okay, we could talk about Lincoln Riley. He got an eggnog bath against Louisville and Southern Cal game.
Yeah, we got mayonnaise baths, we got eggnog baths, we got teams
Pop-Tart.
eating Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I'd like to have that one. And I'd like to have that
Pop-Tart.
wasabi.
Yeah, John
Eat the Pop-Tart.
I'll eat on that Pop-Tart, yeah. I like the strawberry with frosting on it.
That's what he was.
I see, I love that, so I should have been there.
They was grossing me out on that mayo, Duke's Mayo Bowl, talking about mayonnaise, nachos. They were making all
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of stuff, and
I
I'm
know, I
like,
love mayonnaise and I love
I do
Duke's
too,
Mayo,
but there's
boy,
something
it's starting
mayonnaise-
pushing it.
Mayonnaise on a donut.
Oh, now that's sick.
One of the announcers was saying, was it the nachos? I ain't doing that.
he wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't eat that or Peeps. I can't stand Peeps either, so everybody knows that.
Peeps
How
was
about
nothing
mayonnaise
so
and dipping pizza in the
Oh,
mayonnaise?
yeah.
There you go.
The bubble gum.
Oh,
Bubble gum mayonnaise.
a lot of people don't know that story, but let me tell you, I was at the park one day when I was real little, and there's a dirty piece of white loaf bread on the ground that had dirt all over it. Somebody spit bubble gum on it, and I was sitting there watching the dog came up and ate it, and I lost it. I was puking everywhere. So it was sick. But we've had people ask us, and I hate Peeps, ask me why we keep saying wasabi.
Spicy.
We just like the way it sounds. So we're going to have some shirts made up with lightning in a bag, Jimmy Jam, and wasabi.
You sure you don't want a t-shirt with some toes and
No,
some mayonnaise?
no toast, mayonnaise, or beets, or bread. All right, JoJo.
While we're on the mayonnaise, Neil Brown got the mayonnaise bath for West Virginia.
Gross.
North Carolina's Corral had 18 out of 27 passes for 199 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. West Virginia's Green had 12 of 24 for 228 yards and a touchdown.
And while we're talking about mayonnaise, let me tell all our northern fans, Hellman's is not mayonnaise.
No.
Duke's mayonnaise is mayonnaise. But yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's some good stats there.
Some of them unknown quarterbacks, like the North Carolina quarterback, and I don't even know what the ACC is going to look like. All the good quarterbacks pretty much transferred.
Yeah.
I don't know if I tell you last year on Thanksgiving, my daughter came from Nashville with her boyfriend. We had dinner together, but he brought his own mayonnaise because he don't know nothing about Dukes. He thinks from around here, you know. And I tell you, Peyton, she came in and said, "What is that in our refrigerator. And I said, what is it? And she said, and she brought it out, it was a Hellman squeeze bottle.
Wow.
And she said, this is not mayonnaise, it does not belong in our refrigerator.
Peyton, you're smart.
Thought it right.
You're my girl. I've always said that. Yeah. All right, JoJo.
We could touch on Oklahoma State and Texas A&M.
All right.
Obviously, Oklahoma State won that one.
Yeah, whooped up on them. Yeah.
Yeah, so Oklahoma State's Bowman was 34-49,
Mhm.
402 yards,
Yep.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And Oklahoma State's Owens was 10 receiving receptions for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow, that's good. They've had some good plays lately. All teams have good, good plays, good stats. Yeah. All right,
The one I didn't see coming, Arizona and Oklahoma.
that blew my mind.
Arizona won.
Tell you what, Arizona's a lot stronger than people think.
Yeah, they are.
They're coming on.
And Oklahoma lost that quarterback too, right? He went to transfer portal.
Yeah.
Right.
It shocked me though. They just really manhandled Oklahoma. I couldn't believe that.
That was their first bowl eligibility since 2017.
Wow.
That game had 6 takeaways for Arizona. Fafita was 24 of 38
That's y'all's favorite player.
for 354 yards, 2 touchdowns and interception. Oklahoma
For the people that don't know, I hate feet too.
Oklahoma's Arnold was 26 of 45, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Wow.
That was a lot of fumbles and interceptions in that game, more than any other.
But Arizona
bowl
will
game.
show out because that's their last time as a Pac-12 member.
Mhm.
It's been a long time since they were in the bowl. They showed out. But they say where they're going to go. After this, are they going to the Big 12? I can't remember
I
either.
don't remember either.
I know they're going somewhere. I can't remember. I think that's where they're
I
going.
think I heard the Big 12.
Because there's only 2 teams that's not going anywhere right now: Oregon State and Washington State. And I'm hoping that,
They
like
could
that.
form a conference with Notre Dame and do nothing.
That's why I'm saying I hope they form a conference for Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, and Florida State, and some others. That'd be awesome.
I guess Notre Dame got that NBC contract, they don't need none of that, I guess.
They're gonna need this before long, though. I'll bet you.
Oh, it's gonna definitely be required at some point.
All right, JoJo.
Virginia Tech and Tulane, 15 lost.
Yeah, my third favorite team. They lost. I hated that. I really thought they'd beat
I didn't see
Virginia
that
Tech.
coming.
I did not. But Tulane had some great couple of years. Yeah, they were real good. So they played well against Virginia Tech, but just not well enough.
Virginia Tech lose a lot of people or something? Because that was shocked to me too.
I don't know if they did or not, but they did beat Tulane. I couldn't believe it. Tulane on paper was better, but like I said, paper doesn't always amount to much.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to the bathroom, so you need them for sure. But what else you got, JoJo?
Because Virginia Tech's Jones was 13 of 29 for 91 yards,
Yep.
2 touchdowns, 176 rushing
Yep.
touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown.
Just couldn't stop them.
Tutton was 18 rushes for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Just too dominating for them. Just couldn't do it, yeah. Mhm.
SMU and BC, and that's another one I didn't see happening.
I didn't either.
BC won that one.
I thought SMU would beat them pretty good because SMU, they look strong in some games.
Well, SMU thought they deserved to be in the Liberty spot. playing Oregon.
They would probably give it to them.
Yeah, they probably be happy to the places.
But
I felt bad for that.
we said
That was wrong.
Liberty should not have been put in that game.
No,
Maybe
They deserve a game,
They do. Yeah.
but they shot me the first quarter. They played Oregon tough,
Yeah.
but they just wore them down there.
Maybe
Just-
like
they didn't
James
know.
Madison
Yeah.
or Air Force or something. They should have played together.
But they needed that game. They got a good payoff. It's going to help their future program. But they played hard that first quarter. They led Oregon.
Yeah, they're
Led them for a while.
They're a good little team, but too.
Yeah.
No, that was probably the most lopsided pairing that.
Yeah, it was.
This would never happen.
Yeah, but I figured it'd been worse than that, really, and they really surprised me.
Yeah, because Bo Nix passed 4,508 yards.
In one game?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
For the season, he beat Mariota's record
Oh wow,
in a single season with 45 touchdowns too.
man!
He was like 28 of 35 for 363 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
He was still like at 70 something, like 77%, like he's been most of the season
I think he should have been second in the Heisman.
behind Michael Penix.
Michael
Jr.
Penix should have been
Yeah.
first. Yeah,
That's a travesty, I think.
but I love those old throwback uniforms they wore at Oregon. I love them. All right.
Throwback. What was a throwback for them? They had a different one every week.
Yeah.
Like, what?
They're
For like 30 uniforms.
their original helmet with this yellow with the OU,
Yeah.
and it's got the duck going through the O on the jersey, the green jersey, yellow pants. It looked good. Oh, it looked good. Look it up online when you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best uniforms they got. I wish they'd wear them more often. All right, JoJo.
SMU had a 9-game win streak break from that one.
Yep.
That's why I didn't see that one coming at
I
all.
didn't either.
Another one I didn't see coming. Rutgers beats Miami
Yeah, that blew my mind.
That was something.
because they were 1 of 11 versus Miami, and this is their first bowl game since 2014.
Difference on that is, they're like I said, they're in the Big Ten. They recruited more better linemen, and the line was the difference. It really was. And that's what I've been saying about Clemson all along. They need to recruit bigger, nastier, meaner linemen on offense and defense.
Yeah, Miami's about a quarterback away. They really need a good quarterback, and they will be something to reckon with if they get a good QB this year.
Like Jim said, was it Alabama or Michigan? One of the two has an average line on both sides that are bigger than the NFL
Yeah,
guys average.
yeah.
I mean, that's where Alabama and Michigan top most everybody. They always have good big line guys.
You look at Clemson when they won the championships those years. Their linemen were bigger, they were meaner, faster, and that's what they need to keep recruiting those linemen.
Yeah, hopefully our new offensive line coach will fix some of that.
Yeah, because if you got a line blocking for you, the quarterback has more time to do stuff, more and better decision making. It's much better. They need more and better linemen. It seems like they concentrate more on receivers, which is good. But get the linemen, right?
Another one I'm really glad that happened was Missouri beat Ohio State.
I love
This is the one I want to laugh about.
That was great.
Yeah.
I called that the whole time. I picked Missouri to beat.
We picked Missouri, yeah, and then I told
Yeah,
him, I don't like Ohio State because they're sweaty quarterback. He sweats all the time. And have you seen his beard? He had it colored too dark and too much, and it looked terrible. But sweaty man, he didn't
I
do
bet his
good.
feet real sweaty.
Oh, Ryan Day, man, he's really on a hot seat right now.
Yeah.
What Michigan's doing and what they're not doing is.
Well, the jerk deserved it.
I can't remember. I was watching one of the ESPN shows, group of guys, and they were talking about the talent of Ohio State is talent with anybody. Said, but he was criticizing Dave because he said, if you look at the coaching, those guys that are making errors as freshmen, they're still making the same ones as juniors under him. They said they're talented, but they're not being developed the right way.
Right.
They're gaining no skills. That's why he should be on the hot seat.
They got a good lineman there too.
Of course, I said keep him there. Keep him there.
Yeah.
They lose every game every year.
Keep losing, yeah. We don't like you.
This was Missouri's first win against them since 2015.
Wow.
I tell you what, Missouri's going to be a problem next year.
Yeah, they are.
And we're kind of this year.
They got a lot of players coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah, gonna be interesting. All right.
Let's talk about your Ryan Day.
Sweaty man.
This was 3 points. That was the fewest points scored. They didn't have a touchdown in the entire game
I love it. I love it.
Who did that was just
since like 2014.
Somebody please let Ryan watch this.
He was 7-5, and Ohio State 7-5 in the past 10 years in bowl games. 4 of those was during Ryan Day.
Yep.
Ryan Day is also 1-3 versus Michigan, 0-3 versus the SEC, and 1-6 in the college football playoff top 5. Do you think he might get fired?
I hope so. Well, I hope they keep him there so they keep losing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Ohio State's always had jerk coaches. Woody Hayes. Ryan Day. I mean,
Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you hear Lou Holtz talking about the whole thing after Rondo got at him? He said, it's a big thing to not. You can win all you want to win, but if you're not beating Michigan or Michigan beating Ohio State, you got a problem
Yeah.
going on. And he said, I don't know if y'all ever heard that, but he talked about Woody Hayes when he was a coach under Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
They said that Woody Hayes it was 50 something to nothing, whatever. He went for 2 on the last
Yeah,
play
I
of the game,
remember
whatever.
hearing about
They asked
that.
him, why did you go for 2?
Because
I couldn't go for 3. So that's Dave's going to be. That's a big piece. If he can't beat Michigan, care what other games you win, that's big there.
And same with Clemson, Carolina. If you don't beat Carolina, they want you out. That's just unreal. Vice versa. All right, JoJo.
Notre Dame and Oregon State. No DJ Leungale and no Sam Hartman in this one.
It's hard for me to
Maybe
say
that
Louis
made-
Underlay.
Maybe that made a difference
Yeah,
right
it
there.
did. It's hard for me to say Louis Underlay. I always used to say Ooga Booga or ukulele. I can't really say it. Yeah.
Big Cinco is what I always call
But
him.
yeah, I mean, I think he would have made a difference. I really do because
DJ.
yeah, I really do. He's doing a lot better, I don't think it was a DJ problem here. I think it was a Clemson problem, like you said. They didn't know how to really use him. They didn't know how to use him out there, but
He didn't fit in. He was a pro style quarterback.
Yep.
He just did not match. the
Exactly.
defense.
so but he fits in there. I don't know why he wants to go to Florida State.
Well, his coach left Oregon State, so that's one reason why he left. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. All right.
Freeman, our coach of Notre Dame, got a cornflake bath. We gotta talk about
Guess that
that.
beats the mayonnaise bath, don't it?
Yeah.
With milk or without?
Without.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's like confetti, right?
I'd rather have a cornflake bath than a mayonnaise bath. Yeah.
I imagine so.
But I guess mayonnaise is better for your skin then.
But, yeah,
Yeah, and hair.
Yeah.
nose abrasive for sure.
Freeman, the coach for Notre Dame, is 19 wins in 2 seasons. It ties Charlie Weiss.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive for
Yes,
2
it is.
seasons.
For 2
I like
seasons.
him.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
Too bad he's at Notre Dame. I
Yeah,
can't stand
they're
him.
getting another quarterback there, aren't they? Didn't somebody transfer there? Yeah, Duke's quarterback
Yeah.
transferred. Yeah. So that's the second quarterback they got from the ACC. Right?
They knew where to get him from.
Yeah.
Georgia and Florida State. One lopsided game.
Ain't much talking about there.
Well, the funny thing about it, and you can find out people's IQ and their agenda really fast, because people were, well, this just proves that Florida State didn't belong.
Not at all.
You can't prove, yeah, they could have scored 90, and they don't have anything to do with the team they put on the field compared to the team that they were at the beginning of the year.
25% of the team was gone, right? So that's what? 24 people, that's like 100 or so, right? So yeah.
I mean, even when you lose your quarterback and your 2 best wide receivers, that changes the whole game.
Right.
there.
Wow.
Hey, their backup was good enough to win the title game. So, I mean, he would have probably done okay in that game
I
too.
don't think he played though. I think it was their third string, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the title game?
In the
Oh, bowl game, yeah.
the bowl game. So I don't know.
And then you got Georgia people. Oh, we should have been in the playoffs. I mean, you can't, based on that game, you don't believe that you're the best team in the country. And you might be one of the best team in the country, but you blew it.
What do y'all think about this theory? Talk with friends about that. The way the 4 teams are right now, to me, you should not be one of the 4 if you've lost to one of the 4 that's in there.
Because you've already been eliminated, basically, right?
To me,
I
you
agree with
should
you.
get another shot at it.
Yeah.
Well,
They found their way. They fought their way.
Alabama lost to Texas. Georgia
Right.
lost to Alabama.
Right.
Now, my only argument with that is Georgia may deserve to be in there because they're
Over
defending.
Alabama?
Definitely.
Yes.
They're defending national champions for the last 2 years. Undefeated home season, they lost 1 game. Now, how many times has Alabama or Ohio State lost 1 game and got in?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think
What?
Michigan should have been, Washington
Every
State,
season?
Texas, and I think they should consider Georgia let them be in there, because that's just 1 game.
It would have just been weird to leave your SEC champion out
Yeah.
for the team that just lost.
Yeah.
And I think Texas threw a wrench in the whole thing. But if
Yeah.
Texas had not beat Alabama, or
Yeah.
Texas wasn't one of the 4, I think Alabama and Georgia both would have been in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
you're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Georgia had 50 consecutive wins. Well, 50 wins with their season record with their senior class.
Wow.
They had 50 wins.
That's
And,
amazing.
Any college, that's a big.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first school that goes back-to-back bowl games with 40 plus wins.
Yeah. That's
Well,
amazing.
40 plus points.
Yeah.
There you go, in a bowl game.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
They
amazing.
beat their largest ratio with 60 points this year. It was 58 points last year against TCU.
Wow. That's amazing. All right, JoJo, what else?
Michigan, Alabama. We got to talk about that one.
Yep.
Corum showed out. McCarthy showed out. Milrow didn't do as much as Corum did. So I think that made the difference between the games.
Yeah, that and the line of Michigan. I mean, if you watched it, which I know you did, they were strong on both sides. I mean, just strong.
My question to you guys is, what do you think about that final play?
Well,
Why?
Was it a poor play call, or did he not follow his block, or did he should have followed?
I want to tell you exactly what
This is
happened.
walk-
I think
in the
the
end zone.
snap had a lot to do with
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here it is. This is a good play call. They would have scored if it hadn't been for the snap. When he bent down to get it and he's running, he tripped over his own player, went head first in,
Yep.
and that's what blew it. I think they could have scored and tied it up.
Because if he went behind that right guard He would have walked in the end zone.
And that's exactly where he was hitting. But if you go back and look at the film, like you said, bad snap all night long with them, bad snaps.
Yeah.
And I saw the coach chewing the center's butt out, and he just walked off. I mean, disrespecting the coach. You know, I don't like him that much. But when a coach is talking to you on our day, we stop and listen. You know, we stop and listen. But he just kept walking, and bad snaps all night long. So he picks it up, trips over his own lineman, and goes head first into the line, or he would have scored. What
I
do you
still
think?
think it was a stupid play call. I mean, you had an injury timeout, you had a Michigan timeout, you had an Alabama timeout.
Yeah.
You could have picked something different that would have been better and not had any
Possibly,
issues with that.
Yeah, possible. Yeah.
Because they were all expecting that to happen. I mean, if you like acted like you're doing that and then maybe threw it or something.
Play
That
action.
would've been done.
Yep. Play action. Yep.
Play action.
But the center messed it up from the beginning, though.
Yeah.
He didn't really have time to do much.
Yeah. It could have been, now, if you look to the left, it was probably 15 yards of open field to the left, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the stumble, like I said, can't say what would happen without that stumble.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, JoJo.
Oh, here it is. Washington and Tennessee. Like we said, Michael Penix got 430 yards in that game, passing. 2 touchdowns, and he was 29 of 38. Quentin Ewers was 24 of 43. That was probably made the difference.
She meant Washington, Texas.
What did I say?
Tennessee.
Oh.
I messed up the first of the year. I said San Jose State instead of, who was it?
I don't know.
The Bulldogs?
San Diego.
Yep. No. Who's that team out?
Fresno State.
Fresno State. I said I said something different. Yeah. So I messed up too. So
Yeah, even at the end of the year.
I meant Fresno State, and I said, yeah.
So Michael Penix Jr. had more completion percentage than Quentin Ewers did.
So Michael Penix Jr., like I said, I'm an LSU fan. It's my second team, but he shouldn't have won the Heisman. Penix should have. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do y'all think about it? I don't think they should have the Heisman voting until after the bowls and everything.
I
goes.
think so,
like
too, yeah.
that. I like that.
You like it before?
What he said afterwards.
It should be. It really should be.
Because if you got a couple people even in contention, like how do they lead their team in a bowl game, or what kind of against tougher teams?
Yeah.
What
Well,
to me that matters.
And look at Jaden. I mean, Jaden Daniels, like you say, LSU is a pretty good team, but he never really had any adversity. He never had to win any games at the end of the year. It just they didn't beat anybody with any of anything significant. It's people watching the SEC all the time and not watching the Pac-12.
When you pass a 67% completion for 4,600 yards like Penix did, I mean, okay, Michigan quarterback, he's got a 73%, but he only threw for 2,800 yards. You talk about a guy almost doubling what he had with a 67% completion ratio.
And he played a tough schedule. I mean, they did it against Bo Nix twice.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he played
Big Oregon twice.
teams.
Yeah, exactly. All right, JoJo, what else you got?
Before we get into the biggest game, in my opinion, we're going to talk about the most 9-win consecutive seasons. Dabo has 13. Saban has 16.
Wow. He's catching up with Saban. And once Saban retires, he will pass him. How many more years do you think he's got?
Nick,
Yeah.
if he don't quit now,
I don't see how he's going to quit with losing like that.
No, I think he's going to at least 5 more years. But he's frustrated.
Yeah, he could walk away and there's no shame in walking away for him
Mm-hmm.
at all.
I mean, he's done great. I hate to say it, but he has. And I hate to see him when he leaves. I really do. I don't like Alabama, but he's great for college football.
Right.
And I hate to see him.
How many coaches are in the top ranked teams that had coaches that worked for him?
A bunch. Kirby Smart's one for sure. Man, Kirby, we was down there to the Georgia Ole Miss game right there with the game day guys, and they had some former players, and they said that if you listen to him give you a speech, he could fire you up so much you'd run through a brick wall. Right. We heard him at the game, and we both wanted to run through one. That's how good he is. It's just unbelievable. The guy's smart. He's good. He knows how to recruit. He knows all that.
That sounds a lot like I went to a prayer breakfast one day with Tommy Bowden. He was talking about Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
So that man could talk to you, you believe everything, and be motivated for him.
We're there with it, yeah.
Yeah.
We're there, yeah.
Oh, is that what I remember?
Yeah,
that?
I remember
I
that,
forgot.
yeah.
Like I barely remember. You know, he's talking about. Did he say something about fishing in the toilet,
Yeah.
waiting for fish?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I love those prayer breakfasts. I
I
love it.
forgot y'all. How long ago was it?
All those years.
That's 25 years ago.
But look at all the assistant coaches, like you say. I mean, Sarkeesian, he revived
Sarkeesian.
his career. Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, yeah.
I kind of figure I'm looking for Jimbo Fisher to be on the staff sometime this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
What do you think about Lane Kiffin?
He's good for college football.
He has good days and bad
Yeah.
days.
He's arrogant at times, but I was glad to see him win his game.
I have a friend who's on Lane Kiffin's staff. He's an
Yeah.
offensive analyst, and he said it's really been a good time to be working and learning from him. He feels like he's learned a lot.
Kiffin is smart, and he is actually a good guy.
I didn't like him a lot after the Tennessee thing to do those kids that way, but then I heard there's a lot of family dynamics that forced his hand with that.
Yeah.
So he's growing on me a lot more because
Yeah,
I
I like
like
him.
his style.
He likes Dabo a lot too. Yeah, he's always bragging on him. All right, what you got, JoJo?
I think the biggest game of the season was Kansas State versus NC State only because of the Pop-Tart.
Pop. Yeah.
Everybody's favorite. It was strawberry. It made the refs laugh.
I
When
love
it came
strawberry.
out, it came out of a
Toaster.
toaster. And they said at the end of the game, he will die.
I love
Because
it.
he's getting eaten. So he goes back into the toaster, and he comes out the other side, and he's dead. He's done. And they eat him. I mean, he was a strawberry Pop-Tart.
That's my favorite. What do you think about a
Wasabi.
Pop-Tart?
I don't know about wasabi.
Wasabi bowl might work, you know.
I'm sure someone will eat a wasabi Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I love Pop Tarts, but I'm not wasabi.
Spicy.
All right, what else you got, JoJo?
Anything y'all gotta add?
I don't think so.
I'm just going to go to a pick and then we're going to thank everybody.
Yeah, our favorite section still
What's that?
left. Lightning in a bag.
A lightning in the bag. All right, let's do
Our
it.
top 6 plays.
But our engineer's not here, so it won't be the lightning. Sorry.
No.
All right,
The first one, Connor Blackwell from UNC. He had an amazing one-handed catch.
that was good. Yeah, it was good.
The second one was also from that game. Bradley from West Virginia. He had a one-handed jumping interception.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
The third one was from Texas A&M with Marcel Reed. He also had a one-handed jumping catch.
Wow. Good athletes. They're going to be the next level big time.
The fourth one was from Oklahoma.
Mhm.
Arnold. He had a toe-driving
Your
touchdown
favorite, your
catch.
favorite place. Toe dragon.
The fourth one came from the Washington-Texas game with Texas's A.D. Mitchell. He had a great fingertip catch for the touchdown.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I remember what you're talking about. It was awesome.
Let me interrupt you. You remember back when Neil Green was playing for Clemson? You remember that guy kept calling in asking how his toe was? He had turf toe, and the guy kept calling in every week. How's Neil Green's toe? I want to know how toe is. I said, what's up with this guy and his toe? You know, it's sick. All right?
I think his name was Jim.
No. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Our last one came from Polk at Washington team. He kind of bobbled it, he like popped it back up, and then he caught it for a
Oh, the
touchdown.
tennis ball?
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
That was
That was
good.
great. So I think that's all we got so far today.
I want to tell you, it's been a great season. You know, ups and downs. But like I said, everybody knows my rants, but know my raves. What do you guys think about the season?
Yeah, it's been an interesting season. I wish we'd had the 12-team playoff this year.
Yeah.
I think we'd have needed it. But I think next year's going to be a big change. But I'm looking forward to that day when Clemson wins the ACC and they're number 5 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking because you know if you're 5 through, you get a home game in the playoffs. Can you imagine a home game,
That'd be awesome.
a home playoff game
At
in
Clemson.
Death Valley?
Now, do you think they're going to add other conferences to the playoffs? I think
know.
they have to. You know, somebody like Tulane is a.
From what I understand, the top
What was the top
the
five?
top
That's
5
something
conference champions get in,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're at large from there.
That'd be great.
Wow.
All right,
It
Julia.
was a good season. Good season. Disappointment, of course, Clemson. And
Yeah.
a lot of difference. I mean, you think that some people lost it, shouldn't have lost some games. And it just,
Clemson versus Florida State.
yeah.
Clemson, Duke. Clemson, NC State. I mean,
Versus Miami.
they should have won. Clemson should have won.
Clemson, as I said when we started, Clemson should have been undefeated.
Yeah, they should
I
have.
know somebody was giving a hard time about Florida State struggling with Clemson at home, and I'm like, Clemson still has one of the best defenses in the country
Yeah,
at that time when they
yeah.
were full strength.
Mm-hmm.
So that beating Clemson at home is a big deal. I don't care what their record is.
You know what it means when you're undefeated, right?
You still have
You
all
still
your
got your feet. Yeah. All right, JoJo, you want to do the picks?
feet? Let's do
Let's
it.
start with you.
I'm thinking Washington. I think Roma Dunze's too much, and Michael Penix Jr. He's pretty much flawless through all a good bit of last year, and so is Roma Dunze. And I think they're still showing that this year. I think they got what it takes. I'm going with my Washington team.
All right.
Now, we're picking scores since it's one game's the last score, like over unders, or just gonna just pick.
Let's just pick like you do.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you what, we'll let you,
challenge,
I'll
man.
let you do
we'll let you do that, and we'll do this like the ESPN. They taught us well. All right.
Gotcha.
What you got?
Here we go. I think I've decided I'm gonna go with Washington as well. I think it's gonna be a 21-17. I think it's gonna be low scoring.
Yep.
Because all of it, the over and under is 55, 54, I think.
Yep.
And I think everybody expects a big show out offensively.
Yep.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be lower scoring than they think. I say 21-17, Washington.
David.
Well, I was going back and forth. I mean, there is a path for Michigan to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Michael Penix is the best player on the field, and I think he will make the difference. And I'm picking Washington to win and to cover. So.
Washington versus Michigan. Like I say,
Let me say something before you go
Alright.
into yours. Michigan. Don't forget, if you're going that way, I'm about to change your mind, but I doubt you are. Michigan always falls on their face for one game of the
Yeah.
season.
I was going to say Michigan has really surprised me. I didn't think they had the team. I thought they didn't play anybody in the Big Ten. Evidently, they played a few teams that were good, and they're better than what I thought they were. That line on both sides really shocked me, surprised me, where they dominated Alabama. But with that being said, I'm like Chuck. I think Washington. I mean, all of it. I think Washington's going to take them, but something like 24-17. That's what I'm picking. So I think
34-14.
34-14.
Ooh,
Wow.
boy, all right.
I like yours even better. I think it's going to be tough because of Michigan's defense. I think it's going to be really tough on that, but Washington's going to take it. You got a score?
I'm going somewhere like 27-20, something like that.
nice.
I got a question for you. I was going to ask this before we get to the picks, but I forgot. So, if it gets down to a field goal possibly winning the game, who do you think? Because I didn't realize this, but the both field goal kickers for these two teams only attempted 20 each all
don't do
year.
much.
Now, they only attempted 20 all year. One of them made 16, which was Michigan's made 16, and both of them made 16. One 16 of 19, one 16 of 20.
When watching Michigan, I wouldn't trust my special
Yeah.
teams to win the game.
I was getting ready to say their special teams did not look good, so I would go with Washington still.
Even though he hadn't had much practice and hadn't really needed it, I don't know if they're going to need it now.
Exactly. All
Could be a
right.
heartbreaker in the wrong way with the way no more kicks that they've had in the big
Yeah.
pressure game.
Yeah. Well, JoJo, that's the end of this show. We'll let you go ahead and thank our sponsors too. I'm in the studio tonight. And then we want to thank all of our guests out there. But go ahead, JoJo.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Life FM with Super Day, a new Crossroads, with CK Consultants and Chuck Kirkendall, JRG Inspections, Mike Constance's Constant Defense CWP classes.
And we'd like to thank all of our fans from all over the country, even down in South America. We got fans down there. Thank you for all the people who sent us T-shirts. That was made our day. Continue that. Don't forget, we're going to go live with our show next year, but it's also going to be recorded, but we will be live. And we're going to do a podcast called The Rivalries, which is going to cover all major sports and college sports. Our first show is going to be on pro wrestling. And I know these two will be interested in helping us with that one. Talking about the rivalries from back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Not the junk today, but real wrestling stuff. But we'd like to thank everybody. Have a happy new year.
Don't forget, we have one more show left to talk about the final game.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.